Taylor Swift has bought back the right to her first 6 albums, ending a long-running battle over the ownership of her music.
A British woman faces court in Sri Lanka, accused of trying to smuggle 46 kilograms of synthetic cannabis in her luggage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on our way.
And from tip to toe, the boy from Hull who broke records running from John O'Groats to Land's End. Taylor Swift says she has bought back the right to her first 6 albums, which brings to an end a long-running battle over the ownership of her early music. It began almost 6 years ago when her former record label was sold. Our arts correspondent David Silito is here. So she was still earning royalties from these songs. Why was it important to have control of the master recordings?
This is a long and convoluted story. Swifties will know all about this, but if you go onto, say, a streaming site and tap in Shake It Off, 2 songs pop up. Both sound exactly the same to my ears, but Swifties know the difference. One is from 2014, one is from 2023. And this is the culmination of why we have that situation. Lots of artists have disputes over who owns their music. And she had a 6-album deal. Her first 6 albums came to an end, and she owned the rights to the music, but not the recordings. And she wanted to buy those master tapes. But instead, a music mogul, Scooter Braun, the man behind Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber, swept in and bought them. And to say she was upset would be an understatement. And her response to that was, if we owned the music, she could re-record it. And so she's re-recorded 4 of her albums in this long-running dispute. And meanwhile, those recordings, those master tapes, were sold to an investment firm. Well, today it appears that investment firm has agreed a deal. And she said, the music, the videos, the memories, the magic, the madness, every single era, my entire life's work, to say this is my greatest dream come true is actually being pretty reserved about it. A deal has been done. Now, of course, the question is, how much? When it was last sold, a widely reported figure was $300 million, so probably in that ballpark. But remember, after her last tour, the Eras tour, she entered that list of billionaires, so she can probably afford it.
David Silito, thank you.
A British woman faces court in Sri Lanka, accused of trying to smuggle 46 kilograms of synthetic cannabis in her luggage. A 21-year-old British woman has appeared in court in Sri Lanka, accused of trying to smuggle 46 kilograms of synthetic cannabis into the country in luggage from Thailand. Charlotte May Lee was arrested on arrival into the capital, Colombo, earlier on this month. Well, our South Asia correspondent, Samira Hussain, has more details.
Charlotte, how are you feeling? Leaving court and heading back to prison. For how long remains unclear. Charlotte May Lee appeared visibly upset in court, standing in a box reserved for the accused. A procedural appearance done in 20 minutes. And as the investigation continues, all the 21-year-old can do is wait in prison. So that's where we go to speak with her. No phones allowed, not even a notepad. I've just come out of the prison where Charlotte is being held on remand. And she seemed to be in pretty good spirit. She was smiling. Her hair was done up in a French braid that went around her head. But she was describing her living conditions, that she is sharing a cell with 5 other women, and it's about 10 feet by 6 feet. She's managed to find other English speakers, but when they tell their stories of being in prison for a year or 2 years and still no trial, that's what really makes her scared, because that could possibly be her fate. She has not yet been charged. Her lawyer says the alleged drugs still need to be tested.
That production to be sent to the government analysis department to analyze and get the report. So we have to wait till that report comes. At the same time, we have to look forward to get her bail out.
But it could take 3 months before a bail hearing even takes place. Samira Hussain, BBC News, Negombo, Sri Lanka.
British woman has appeared in a Sri Lankan court over a drugs haul worth more than £1 million. Charlotte May Lee from London was detained by airport authorities earlier this month. She'd just flown in from Thailand when a type of cannabis was found in her luggage. She insists it was planted. Barnaby Papadopoulos reports.
Charlotte Lee arrived at court today with her head bowed and her hands behind her back. She'd been on holiday in Thailand, but just over 2 weeks ago she flew from Bangkok to Sri Lanka and was arrested at the airport. Police later released this footage, alleging that she was carrying over 40 kilograms of a kind of synthetic cannabis called Kush. Authorities claim this was the largest seizure of drugs in the history of Sri Lanka's largest airport. But the 21-year-old says she was set up, the drugs planted in her luggage without her knowledge. Today's hearing updated the court on the case's progress, and the former flight attendant is yet to be formally charged as investigations continue. It could be months before the case is resolved, and Charlotte's lawyer said she's trying to stay positive and stay in touch with her family.
Yeah, very supportive. I am always texting, I'm always talking, and I'm always getting the instructions from them. So they are very supportive. Obviously, you know, in this kind of situation, she's not emotionally perfect, but she's trying her level best to accommodate to the situation at the moment.
Charlotte Lee is due to appear back in court in 2 weeks' time. After today's hearing and a wait in the prison van, she was driven back to the jail where she's being held on remand, waiting for her case to be decided. If found guilty, she's facing up to 25 years in a Sri Lankan prison. Barnaby Papadopoulos, ITV News.
A 17-year-old boy from Hull has become the youngest person to run the length of the UK. Marcus Skeet, also known as Hull Boy, has spent 2 months travelling between Land's End and John O'Groats, raising more than £100,000 for charity. Here's our correspondent Graham Satchell.
Marcus Skeet is just 17 and he's been running and running and running.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on our way.
His aim to become the youngest person to run from Land's End to John O'Groats. He's been doing it to raise money for the mental health charity Mind.
Just under 2 years ago, at the age of 15, I attempted to not be here anymore. I was 145 kilograms, diabetic and struggling badly with depression, anxiety and OCD. As a carer of my dad, I felt like I couldn't talk out to anyone and bottled up all of my emotions.
Day one of running the entire length of the UK for Mind. Let's have it.
Along the way, Marcus has had some memorable moments.
Look at it, lads, slow down. Oh, it's bouncy, it's bouncy. That is scary. Ow, ow. Now look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, life is so beautiful. No matter what you're going through, keep battling, keep running, keep stomping, keep moving forward. I love you so much. You're as beautiful as this blooming sunset on these mountains. Keep going. Mental health matters. We push through everything. 1 mile to go until we create history, man.
After 58 days and 837 miles, he's finally made it. Graham Satchell, BBC News.
Firstly, well done.
Oh, yes.
Brilliant. And it was rotten. The weather was rotten yesterday for the end of that. We knew that, Carol was telling us. But we're going to be talking to him, aren't we?
Yeah, how is he feeling this morning is what we're thinking.
We can talk to Marcus now, who joins us from Aviemore. Marcus, good morning. It's Naga. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. That means the world. There's some clips in there.
Oh, yeah.
Very embarrassing. How are we?
Oh, really well. Let me ask how you are, though. I think the audience will find that more interesting. How are the feet? How's the body? How are the legs?
To be fair, my legs are just prepared for the next 20 miles because it's just used to it at this point. But it feels nice not having to run today. It's just refreshing. Spending time with family, and yeah, my body will probably feel it in a week when it realises there's no more running, and I'm terrified for it, I'll be honest. But we're here, we're alive, we're going.
It's very positive. The positive attitude you had when you were running, you were just finding the joy in anything. It was marvellous, and it's really reflective of kind of how you have developed as a person. And you're 17, you're the youngest person to have done this. You got it on your T-shirt, you've got the record. But did you, as you were running, did you kind of, how easy was it to maintain that optimism or that, you know, just find the joy in something?
Yeah, there was days where it was very, very tough. Some days you'd get out, it was in the pouring rain. You had 20 miles to do, it started to get dark, there was no one. Some days were on the side of A roads. It was a really lonely adventure, but also you do have to find positives out of everything. And yeah, in the clips where you see me running along with goats or deers or cows, yeah, I just make fun with anything, because at the end of the day, life is very short. And yeah, I'm very grateful to have it done now, but I will miss them little side quests and the little adventures, meeting random things.
Marcus, morning to you. It's Charlie here in the studio. Can I add my congratulations for your achievement? And I'll tell you what, your smile and your attitude and everything, it leaps out of the screen when we're talking to you. Can I just ask you, as you were running along, and people will have been hearing more and more about your story, did you have people coming up and sharing their stories with you? Did you have that? Did you interact with people along the way?
Yeah, it was such a crazy journey. I met so many incredible people, all from different backgrounds with different stories, and I was so grateful to meet them. And yeah, we had quite a few people. One specifically, someone drove like 4 hours just on the off chance of finding me on the road, and it was one of the best moments of my life, just hearing their story and them struggling with mental health. And to me, it's so crazy that just running and all of this can bring so many people together, and we can all resonate about mental health and stories. And yeah, it's been so beautiful. I'm so like, it's so surreal. The last few weeks, like the running side has been very, very tough, but also the whole journey and the whole aspects of everything has been one of the best, well, yeah, the best months of my life, and so grateful to have met some legends.
Let's deal with some trivial stuff, Marcus. Why not? I mean, what can you do now that you haven't been able to do for ages, that you're just looking forward to? Something that you got a moment now and no pressure to run. What are you looking forward to?
I'd say, it sounds really daft, just lying in bed and doing nothing for a few days. I feel like spending time with family as well. That should have probably been first, just thinking about it. I've just said I'd rather lie in bed than see my family. My mum's laughing now. But no, I think it'll be seeing family, laying in bed, seeing the dog Bruce. I'm really looking forward to seeing Bruce. And to be fair, just getting back to life in Yorkshire. I don't know how to word it, but like in Scotland, the scenery is just so beautiful. It doesn't feel real. So like just getting brought back to my town would be, it'll be nice to see different landscapes, see different scenery, and yeah, I just miss everybody.
Well, you've earned the right. You've earned the right. Have I got this right, Marcus? Is the rest of the family there? Are they behind the camera? Are they there in the room?
My mum is. My dad's in bed. Yeah.
Does your mum want to say hello to us? Is she there, or does she not want to do that? Go on.
Oh, she's shaking her head.
No, she's not going to do it.
Oh, that's fine.
Look, I bet your family must be so proud of you.
You can shout, Mum.
Yes, we are. Very proud.
There we go.
Marcus, how did it feel when you finally, you had the medal? You kind of it's confirmed, and you've raised all this money as well with some really amazing donations. How does it feel? I mean, have you been able to look back and go, I've achieved this and I'm proud of this?
Yeah. Well, it was so weird. Like yesterday morning, we woke up and it was on 70,000, and I remember. We won't go into details. I went for a poo in Lidl, and I remember I just went on my GoFundMe, and it came up to 100,000. I'm thinking, what the blooming X happened here?
In a supermarket.
But sorry.
Did you just say you went to the toilet in a supermarket?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It happens. Go on. Carry on. Sorry.
No,
just making sure.
Sorry, no. I just meant I went to the toilet in the supermarket. I clicked on my GoFundMe, and it had gone to 100,000, which was crazy. And yeah, the donations have been mental. I'm so grateful. And yeah, it hasn't really kicked in yet. Sorry, I don't know why I told you I went to the toilet in the supermarket.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? You feel so comfortable with me and Charlie, and we like you so much that, you know what, I feel we're friends anyway. Our friends share these things. Plus, it's all natural. Worry not. I'm sure your mum will have a word with you about it, what you just said on national television, but it doesn't matter. Marcus, you've done a brilliant thing. We're really impressed with what you've done, and we're delighted you took the time to get up out of bed, even though your dad couldn't be bothered to talk to us this morning on BBC Breakfast. Look after yourself, rest up, and well done.
So much. What an opportunity this is. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I like him.
Absolutely. What a day. I hope he is having a little moment of calm
He
after
will
all
be.
the madness he's been through.